सब परिगुरु जगाचार्य अस्तुत सतीश डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परम हम सब परिगुरु जगाचार्य अस्तोत्र सत भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्यामा कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome, Hare Krishna. Welcome to today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 22, Text 40. Please repeat after me. Krishno mahan iha bhavarnavam alpavesham. Krishno mahan iha bhavaranavam alpavesham. Sadvarganakram asukhena titirsanti. Sadvarganakram asukhena titirsanti. Tattvam harer bhagavato bhajaniyam angrihim. Tattvam harer bhagavato bhajaniyam angrihim. Kritvo dupam vyasanam uttara dustararanam. Kritvo dupam vyasanam uttara dustararanam. Krishno mahaniha bhavaranavam alpavesham. Sadvarganakram asukena titirsanti. Tattvam harer bhagavato bhajaniyam angrim. Kritvo dupam vyasanamutar dustararanam. Krishno mahaniha bhavaranamalpavesham. Sadvarganakram asukena titirsanti. Tattvam harer bhagavato bhajaniyam angrim. Kritvo dupam vyasanam uttara dustararanam. Prabhuji's. Mataji's. Okay. Please repeat after me word to word. Krichara, troublesome. Mahana, very great. Iha, here in this life. Bhava Arnavam, ocean of material existence. Aplava Isam, of the non-devotees who have not taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Satvarga, six senses. Nakram, sarks. Asukhena, with great difficulty. Titirsanti, cross over. Tat, therefore. Tvam, you. Hare, of the personality of Godhead. Bhagavata, of the Supreme. Bhajaniyam, worthy of worship. Angrim, the lotus feet. Kritva, making. Udupam, boat. Vyasanam, all kinds of dangers. Uttara, crossover. Dustara, very difficult. Arnam, the ocean. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Translation with repetition. The ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non-devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross that ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of His lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers. Purport. Material existence is compared herein to the great ocean of nescience. Another name of this ocean is Vaitarani. In that Vaitarani ocean, which is the causal ocean, there are innumerable universes floating like footballs. On the other side of the ocean is the spiritual world of Vaikuntha, which is described in Bhagavad Gita 8.20 as Paras Tasmatu Bhavo Nyama. Thus, there is an ever-existing spiritual nature which is beyond this material nature. Even though all the material universes are annihilated again and again in the causal ocean, the Vaikuntha planets, which are spiritual, exist eternally and are not subject to dissolution. The human form of life gives the living entity a chance to cross the ocean of nescience, which is this material universe, and enter into the spiritual sky. Although there are many methods or boats by which one can cross the ocean, the Kumaras recommend that the king take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, just as one would take shelter of a good boat. Non-devotees who do not take shelter of the lotus feet try to cross the ocean of nescience by other methods, karma, jnana, and yoga, but they have a great deal of trouble. Indeed, sometimes they become so busy simply enjoying their troubles that they never cross the ocean. There is no guarantee that the non-devotees will cross the ocean, but even though they manage to cross, they have to undergo severe austerities and penances. On the other hand, anyone who takes to the process of devotional service and has faith that the lotus feet of the Lord are safe boats to cross that ocean is certain to cross very easily and comfortably. Prithu Maharaj is therefore advised to take the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord to easily cross over all dangers. Dangerous elements in the universe are compared to sharks in the ocean. Even though one may be a very expert swimmer, he cannot possibly survive if he is attacked by sharks. One often sees that many so called swamis and yogis sometimes advertise themselves as competent to cross the ocean of nescience and to help others cross, but in actuality, they are found to be simply victims of their own senses. Instead of helping their followers to cross the ocean of nescience, such swamis and yogis fall prey to Maya, presented by the fair sex, women, and Arthurs devoured by the sharks in that ocean. Hmm. Let's do Mangalacharan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददान्ति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादां सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखावितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पत्ररूप्यश्च कृपासिन्धुतयैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So, just a quick theme to understand what's happening right now. So, as discussed before as well, King Prithu, he was inquiring from the four Kumaras about attaining the spiritual success, and it is important, like, to whom we ask the question, because like the sages at Naimisaranya, like they are very learned sages, they knew whom to ask question. Like asking question is very nice, like even Brahma Samhita it states yathato Brahma jigyasa, the spiritual journey starts from asking question, inquiring, but from whom we inquire, that also matters. So King Prithu is inquiring from four Kumaras. Who are the four Kumaras? The son of Brahma himself, and the idol for practicing the spirituality, like who can impart the spiritual wisdom. And they are one who got like self-realized, and they have personally seen the Lord Narayana, four-handed form of Narayana. And the Kumaras, they explained the material attachment binds the soul, and only bhakti can free one. Even if we read Bhagavad Gita, like everyone get their answer the way they are looking for, and they also understand the importance of bhakti. Even in Gyan Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Karma Yoga, like what are the ways or the method they perform these yogas, and how bhakti yoga is more prominent than all these sort of yoga in Bhagavad Gita. And in verse 14, today's verse, like the comparison of material life to a dangerous ocean filled with sharks, it's mentioned, like we read in translation and purport, the ocean of nescience filled with the sharks. And non-devotees try to cross this ocean by austerity, knowledge, or yoga, which is very difficult, even hard to imagine. And taking the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet is like boarding on a very safe boat, which makes crossing very easy. And devotional service is presented as the sure and safest way, as it is the sure and safest way to cross the ocean of nescience. Before we continue, I want to ask one question to all the listeners. Like we often hear about devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is devotional service? Like any understanding you are holding, you can share. What do you understand when someone says devotional service? What is devotional service? Yeah, Shravanam, Kirtanam. Yeah, yeah, I take that. Anything more? Okay, meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's also nice. Bro, would you like to try? Yeah, devotional service. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I will repeat the answers I received. So whatever activities we perform, and if we offer the results of that activities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is called a devotional service. And can we say devotional service as bhakti, or bhakti means devotional service? Yeah. So bhakti means devotional service, and every service has some attractive feature that drives some like fruitive activities. Like behind every action, there is some resultant reactions included in that. Maybe our fruits, or maybe something that we are hankering about. But like it has every service means devotional service has some attractive feature that drives the servitor progressively on and on. So recently we had festivals like Janmashtami, Prabhupada Vyas Puja, and I guess we all are working here in Australia for our livelihood. Like I may notice two differences in both of the life. Like when we are working for someone other than Krishna, like we don't feel like too much enthusiastic or feel like performing that very work again and again. But same way, other hand, if we are performing any activity related to Krishna, maybe in Janmashtami, like each and every Prabhu, each and every devotees were engaged in the devotional service to Krishna. And at the end of the festival, like when I asked one of the devotee, like we have like Prabhupada Vyas Puja next day, would you like to do more devotional service? They were like more enthusiastic and eager to do. Like they were not feeling bored or fed up by performing the activities. So we can see the difference in front of our eyes. Any activity done for the Krishna and any activity done not for Krishna. So that's the difference. And that is the thing saying like any activity we do that is attractive feature that drives the servitor, like one who is performing the devotional service progressively on and on. They won't feel like okay I should stop or I should just leave it. So that is the one attractive thing. And every one of us within this world is perpetually engaged in some sort of service. Like by nature we are Krishna Nitya Das. Like either we perform some devotional, we perform some service to Krishna, or we perform any service to Maya. So performing service, it's by default in our nature, but it depends to whom we are performing service. The same way the thief and the doctor, they uses this like knife. Doctor, when it's in their hand, it's for curing the patient, and when it's in the hand of a robber, it's for like killing or causing disturbance in the society. Same way when we are asking question, like we often hear we should ask or inquire from sadhu, guru and shastra. So same way Prithu Maharaj, he being very intelligent and self-aware of his position, he knew whom to ask questions, so he inquired from the four Kumaras, and four Kumaras instructed him step by step about the importance of austerity and penance. If we go behind during the time of creation when Brahma was trying to create, when he was the first living entity, and what did he do? He also performed the austerity and penance. And after performing austerity and penance, he was able to see Mahavishnu, and he directed what he should do, what is his like aim to do, why he was created. And from there he created the different planetary systems with the living entities in that. And positioning of the planetary systems, it was like very complex. So the instruction is coming from the authority of Brahma, like Mahavishnu. So whenever any instruction comes from the higher authority, the blessings flow automatically. Same way, the direction was given within the heart of Brahma, how to arrange all the celestial planets, how to, like if we see our planetary systems, like 7 up and 7 down, like how they are arranged, it's the intelligence was given by Krishna himself. So in this verse, like again it is talking about the our actual position, where we are and of what we should be aware of. So in translation it's beautifully mentioned, the ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross. We are in ocean of nescience, we agree, yeah, but it is difficult to cross if we are trying to cross in a wrong way. Same way, like if we have question and if we inquire from wrong authority or wrong person, we may not get answer. Even if we get the answer, it won't give us ultimate solution. So it is difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. So many dangerous sharks to whom it is representing. So all the hurdles or impediments that comes on the path of devotional service. So very first thing that is binding us in this material world is desire to gratify our own sense. Yeah, so this is one of the shark, and there are a lot of many other shark. So I was listening one of the class, yesterday's class, I guess Prabhu mentioned one yogi, like yogi who are very austere, performing their like sadhanas and everything, but it is on their physical level rather than subtle or pleasing to Krishna. So the yogi, he was mentioning that it took me like 20 years to give up the attachment for sex life. So just to give up one desire, it took 20 years. How many, like many more desire this body is filled with? Yeah, the body made up of urine, blood, bone, skin, mucus. Yeah, like a type of ignorance, it's covered. We know we are made of this, but we forget. Even we forget like we will die one day. What is the ultimate goal of our life? So further, although those who are non-devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross the ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of his lotus feet, you will overcome all the dangers. In Prabhupada lectures, Prabhupada usually mention about the vargas, the 5 vargas that is acting in this material world. Pa, fa, ba, bha, ma. So let's understand, it's in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this upper varga is very significant word, like we may have studied when we were reading Devanagari. Ka, kha, ga, ga. Same way pa, pha, ba, bha, ma comes in that. So pa varga and upper varga. So pa varga means pa, pha, ba, bha, ma, and pa means parishram, labor. In this, if we see in our day-to-day activity, there is parishram, too much labor. Even if we want to achieve something, we need to labor for that. And moving forward, like Sutta Goswami is describing in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.9, the purpose of religiosity, dharmasya hi apavargasya. Dharma, to accept the system of religion, means to accept the path of liberation. Also we can link it with the devotional service. And apavarga, this apavarga is very significant word. Pavarga and apavarga. So pavarga means pa, pha, ba, bha, ma, and in grammatical ways, ka, kha, ga, gha, ka varga, ka, kha, ga, gha, ka varga, cha varga, ta varga, and pa varga, 5 vargas. And there are so I will give you a chance to guess the pa vargas. So pa vargas, first one is parishram, labor. What is pa varga? Yeah, we can recommend with that. Ba, bhaya, fear. Bha, bha is fear. Ba, okay. Ma, yeah, yeah. So, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, like we also can relate this with each other. The real problem of our life is birth, death, old age, disease. But we are thinking our main problem is having promotion in our work, having more money, having good house, good car, good accommodation facilities so that we can gratify our senses nicely. But if we even get all those things, we even like stay unmotivated or unsatisfied, even if everything of is achieved. So why is that? Because we are unable to cure or catch the real problem of our life. So the real problem of life: birth, death, old age, and disease. And in Bhagavad Gita, it said, परस तस्मात्तु भवोन्यो व्यक्तो व्यक्तता सनातनात् यः स सर्वेषु भूतेषु नश्यतसु न विनश्यति. So, yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. So, when all in this world is annihilated, the part remains as it is. And what is that very part? It is talking about Krishna, the spiritual energy, the spiritual planets, the Vaikuntha lokas, all the spiritual celestial bodies. So Krishna's superiority, like spiritual energy, is transcendental and eternal, and it is beyond all the changes of material nature. So material nature, what are the changes we are going through? Our childhood to death, the changes our body goes through. It's like temporary, it goes, finish, again it starts. But the spiritual life, the spiritual energy, like it is not temporary, it's permanent, absolute, and it is completely opposite in quality to material nature. So superior and inferior nature of Krishna. So Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns. That is the supreme abode. Like it's referring to the spiritual planets of Krishna. Yat gatvana nivartante. Tad dhama paramam mama. So, supreme personality of Godhead. Why he created this material manifestation? So that it's a chance for us, we human being, to realize why we are born and perform the devotional service and go back home, back to Godhead. So Krishna, in the form of like deity, he appeared in this material form to accept service from we living entities. And whatever service we perform, if we just forward the results towards the Krishna, we are advancing or collecting the funds in our spiritual account. And what is the most dangerous thing we should avoid in the path of performing devotional service is the Vaishnava Aprad. Even if we are performing very nicely the devotional service, whatever account balance we have got spiritually, it can be vanquished just within a moment if we perform any Vaishnava Aprad. And on the other hand, Krishna also helps those devotees who take steps to bring the conditioned souls and try to connect them to Krishna. So how we can do that? By doing Krishna Katha or sharing anything related to Krishna, so that they can relate it to their day-to-day life. The way they can understand is like without interpreting or changing the meaning of the Shastras, of the Vedas. And even more dangerous than impersonalist, Prabhupada says someone is someone who changes or interrupts or changes overall meaning of the Shastras and Vedas to please or to make someone listen what I am saying. And Prabhupada also like disliked someone who was like impersonalists and philosophy, because they were trying to perform the austerities on the bodily platform and trying to merge in the Brahma Jyoti and thinking Brahma Jyoti to be the topmost. So, in a lecture I was listening, like one of the impersonalist sannyasi and one of the devotee of ISKCON, like Vaishnava, they both were attending one program, and impersonalist, like knowing, being aware of the Vaishnava, he tried to question in a tricky way, like, what do you believe? What is your philosophy? So, as a Vaishnava, like as we act as a lion outside our like devotee association, so the answer of a Vaishnava was very nice and powerful. He said, we don't even care for our own austerity for the service of the Lord. So we work in such a way so that Krishna sees our service and Krishna uh, looks our service and attracts his attention. Impersonalists trying to do the yoga, perform penance and austerity, they are trying to be in the eyes of Krishna, but Krishna sees who performs some service for him. So one of the best way to perform the service for the Krishna is, any guess? What is the best way to perform service for the Krishna? By? Yeah. Yeah. So if we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction, Yare dekho tare ko Krishna upadesh, amar agya guru aya tare ei desh. Whomever we see, wherever we go, we should talk about Krishna. We should discuss the topics of Krishna. What happens if we talk about the pastimes or about the topic of Krishna? We are like making our consciousness more advanced and also helping the other devotees to be Krishna conscious or take up the Krishna consciousness. And we often hear the verse Savai Pumsam Paro Dharma Yato Bhakti Radok Saje Ahituki Ya Pratihata Yayatma Suprasiddhati. So when we are performing any devotional service to Krishna, it should be unmotivated and uninterrupted to any material desires or any sense gratificatory objects. And it is very interrelated with each other. If we are trying to perform any devotional service and if we have material desires in center, like our consciousness, it won't be resolute, it won't be steady, it will be flickering. So it will be like bahu sakahi anantascha. It's same like multiple branched, and the nature of human brain, even scientists say that it's like it can focus at one task at a moment. And when we are trying to meditate on the objects of sense gratifying things, our mind gets bewildered, and that bewilderment causes delusion. So there is lust, anger, greed. So when we try to meditate on the objects of sense gratificatory object, our intelligence, it gets bewildered and we lose our intelligence. And what happens when we lose our intelligence? We are not sure what's wrong, what's right, because the nature of mind is thinking, feeling and willing. The main thing that differentiates between right and wrong is the intelligence. And how we can sharpen our intelligence? By studying shastras. So what happens when we read the shastras? It's a very beautiful example was given in Srimad Bhagavatam, like someone who have got jaundice, they cannot taste the sweet. Even if we give them the sweet or chocolate, they can't taste it. So what happens if we continue to give him the honey water or any sweet continuously, slowly and gradually, he will gain the receptors of his tongue and start tasting the sugar. Same way, like our intelligence is blunt, our senses are blunt, and with this blunt senses we are trying to perform devotional service to the Lord. Actually, we don't have any qualification to perform devotional service for Krishna. Who gives us the qualification? Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, like, I gave you qualification, the Swikriti to perform the devotional service of the Lord. In this Kali Yuga, only by one means, by performing the Sankirtan Yagna for Krishna, for Narayana, one can transcend all the modes of material nature and fix their intelligence and mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. So bhakti, it's not like a blind or like going in a undirected way. It's scientific, because all the activities we do, we have a track, or we know why we are performing those activities. Even hearing is the most prominent thing when someone is trying to perform the devotional service. I was listening to Radha Govinda Maharaj lecture, and he was giving the example of like hearing. When we are watching any TV program, or when there is some talk happening but sound is not coming, when we are unable to listen, like, will we be interested in that very talk or in that very program? For instance, we are out to watch any movie, and if there is no sound in the movie, just the picture is going on, how long can we survive? Max 10, 15, okay, most patiently 30 minutes. Yeah, why it is happening so? So by nature, like, our ears, it's meant for listening, and what we are listening, it also matters. We should listen the activities, the pastimes of Krishna, so that it can purify our heart and increase our interest to listen more about Krishna. So and in today's verse, like the shark as being compared with the ocean of nescience, uh, and also the Swami and yogis who recommend the ways, the methods to perform the sense gratificatory activities, like, we should have some checkpoint, right? Like whom to listen, whom not to listen, which yogi to listen. All the yogis, like, they we know, like, they are performing some activities, the way is different, their understanding is different. How shall we understand, like, whom to listen, whom not to listen? So the simple difference is, like, any yogi or any swamis, if they talk apart from Krishna, or anything that is taking us away from Krishna, we should immediately understand that this is fake, or we should avoid, we should ignore that very sadhu, but not in a rude way, in a very respectful way, so that even being sadhu, not having the proper understanding of the aim of life, they continue their activity, and some point of life they will come back to understand the Krishna. And the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which have their specific aim of incarnating. Why would have Krishna come in the day of Brahma? To give the rasa, to give the mellow of love towards the Godhead. Even if we see the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came, he came in the mood of devotee, to understand the mood, like, why the devotees, they are too much devoted to me. Even Krishna, he was unable to understand the why their devotees is too much, so that they can give up everything and come towards Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And the main thing that obstructs is the senses. So even during the time of Kashyapa Muni, like, he was very Pakka Sadhu, but he was impersonalist. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and the reason, like, Diti and Aditi. So Kashyapa Muni, when his wife approached him for the activities, the Kashyapa Muni failed, because he was unable to, like, pacify her wife, or unable to give the proper understanding. No, this is not the correct murata, because the impersonalists, they struggle to control their senses, because what they try to focus is, whenever such a provoking situation comes to their senses, they try to make something on which they can meditate, maybe the light or some form. But the thing is, the devotees, they are a bit better in controlling their senses, because they know the personal feature of the Lord Krishna. And if there is anything, any provoking situation, two places we can meditate. One is the lotus feet of the Lord, Another is the eyebrow. Like when we meditate on these two things, we can easily overcome the provoking situation that is trying to disturb our steadiness in the bhakti. And Guru Maharaj, like when uh, by mercy of Krishna we get the spiritual master, and by mercy of the spiritual master we get Krishna. So they are interrelated. Uh, so whenever like we have everyone, like we have our Chaitya Guru who is directing our day-to-day activities, what's wrong, what's right, and we have a choice to like choose whether to do this or that. Same way, like we need someone to engage us in the devotional service of Krishna, and who does that very in a very better way is our spiritual master or our authorities. And each and every disciple have their personal relationship with their spiritual master. And during this process, during practicing the devotional service, like one should not have any doubt or any type of like back thoughts regarding their spiritual master. Once some of the devotees from like from ISKCON, they approached or they met some of the impersonalist sannyasis, and one of the sannyasi told to uh, the devotees Vaishnavas that I know something that your Guru Maharaj don't know. So the immediate reaction of the devotee was, I'll spit on your face if you say anything that my Guru Maharaj don't know and you know. Because the level of faith and surrenderance we should have toward our Guru Maharaj is this, like our spiritual master knows everything, even the things that we don't know, because the relation is so individual and personal that it should not be impacted by any of the third party. And the level of surrenderance to our spiritual master is the level of surrenderance toward Krishna, because spiritual master is the representative of Krishna himself. Whatever activities our spiritual master asks us to do, we should understand that it's coming from Krishna himself, and we should give our life and soul to perform that very activity. And the even the knot, the very tight knot of material desire, which is very hard to give up, can be channelized by adding Krishna in it or connecting it with Krishna. So this is the a bit practical and easy way in bhakti yoga. Even in Bhagavad Gita, if we read about Gyan yoga, Dhyan yoga, Buddhi yoga, like they recommend different philosophies, Sankhya philosophy, or performing on the bodily platform, which is like very hard to attain in this one lifetime. But bhakti yoga, it's very sure and short. Even like we perform 1% in this life, we are assured next human form of body in next life, and we start the bhakti from same level we paused in this lifetime. So the importance of human form of body is even said by Brahma, Lord Shiva, and other demigods, that even we desire to have the human form of body, because this is the platform, or by using the human form of body one can perform the devotional service to Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead in short duration of time. They can also perform the devotional service, but the if we see the uh, time duration of our life, like max 100 years, which is not even a day for Brahma, the lifetime, the duration of time. So that's very short in human form of life. And the other form of bodies, like maybe ant, tiger, those bodies we get to like uh, get the results of our activities. As for that we get the body. It's said that whenever we see a snake, we should kill the snake because of the envious nature of the snake, because of the activities or the karma of that very snake in uh, snake's past life. They got that very snake body. Because of that, whenever anyone sees a snake, it's said to be killed. Same with the tiger, but they don't get the karma because it's said in the shastras. So if there is anything provoking or anything that can shake our belief towards Krishna, we should check it from sadhu, guru, and shastra. And yeah, this is the way we can cross the ocean of material sufferings. And Before moving forward, yeah, I would like to ask if you have any doubt or any question specifically from this verse. Happy to answer. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So your so Chita Harish Prabhu's question is um, so trying to please Krishna or having desire to please Krishna is important. Even in past the demons who tried to kill the Krishna, but Krishna got pleased and provided them the spiritual planet. Yeah, it's a nice question, but if we see in a broader sense, the pastime of Jai and Vijay, like the way they got cursed by the uh, four sons of Brahma, uh, in the ultimate sense, like Krishna, he also wants to have fight with whom he should fight on devotees. So he arranges such activities in a way so that he can perform his pastimes. And the activities performed by Krishna is not like only one person will get benefited. The one activity of Krishna or any pastime performed by Krishna can be benefited or lessons can be derived by multiple people. So similarly, uh, the pastime of Hiranyakasipu, if we see, like they were devotees who came down and Narsinga Devji appeared, and also the importance of Prahlad Maharaj, the importance of devotion was highlighted over there. So if we see that Krishna, he is trying to help the conditioned souls to understand their real position by performing such pastimes and bring us to the level where we can understand, okay, Krishna is the supreme and our main aim is to perform the service to Krishna, and bhakti yoga is the supreme. Same way, like any small devotional activity performed for Krishna can please Krishna a lot. Same way, if we see the pastime of Vrindavan, like all the activities performed, like whomever Krishna killed, they reach to the spiritual planets. Why? Because when Krishna touches or whenever anyone uh, fight with Krishna, very first thing is they get purified, but just for the sake of pastime to happen, like they act in that way, as per my understanding. And importance of having the right attitude, yeah, it's important to have right attitude while performing the devotional service. If we don't have right attitude, we our consciousness, the main aim like which we are trying to do is purify our consciousness and fix it in the service of Krishna, it may not happen. So let's take an example. If we are trying to in our kitchen, if we are trying to perform service by washing pots for Krishna, and while washing pots we are unable to realize, okay, if we are unable to connect it with the Krishna, we may get the result but not as much as we could get. So the proper attitude also comes when we see things in relation to Krishna, even the provoking situations. uh, Devotees, how they take the provoking situation is, I may be suffering more than this, but Krishna, what he is doing, he is giving me so little so that I can handle this situation. And the overall mood of devotee is very humble. He is like never getting angry or furious towards Krishna. Oh Krishna, why you did this to me, or why you are putting me in this situation. So that's the case. And another mood is like if someone who is struggling or who is very new to understand what is Krishna consciousness, they can simply cry in front of Krishna that, "Oh Krishna, I'm yours. Please guide me. How can I come to the actual platform? Provide me with all the necessary things that is required to realize you." And even if we are unable to cry in front of Krishna, then we can think that I am not able to cry. So by thinking that I'm unable to cry for Krishna, we should cry that I'm unable to cry for Krishna. Even if it's not coming, then we can think that I'm unable to cry for the service of the Krishna. By thinking this, like there will be a point, the, like immediately our heart will get softened and melt down. So these are the things we can think. And yeah, overall pastime, yeah, the cause of all causes, we know Krishna. It's his plan so that he can give us some pastimes. And even if we see some of the videos in YouTube on what level of quality we like to see, 4K or 1080 pixel, yeah, same way the content and quality of Krishna's pastimes is everlasting, is like absolute. Even it was performed more than 5000 years ago, even if we read now or read multiple times the same pastime, the quality and content never goes down. It stays higher, and every time we read, it gets more higher. I guess I answered your question. Yeah, yeah. The very first thing is having desire. It starts from there. So question is just having a desire to please Krishna is enough. Yeah, so having a desire at the very first stage, having a desire to please Krishna, that's nice. And when we see devotees doing service for Krishna, slowly that desire will take a form and expand within our body and perform the devotional services. The way how we started our 16 rounds, we just wanted to chant for like 1 minute, 2 minute, then it went to one round, then one round to 16 rounds. Same way, it starts from having desire. When Krishna is there, that means, yeah, yad gatvana nivartante. It will slowly go up. There is no chance of downfall. It's like one way. Yeah. Even devotee says it's like mafia. Once we enter, we can't go back. Thank you. Any more question? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की, राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की, गौर निताई की, जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, जय, सॉरी, ऑल ग्लोरी